Spurs had a disastrous domestic season, but they have succeeded in Europe with some tactical tweaks. Let's see how Ange's tactics transform Tottenham. At the basic level, Spurs has changed into a standard build-up shape with fullbacks out wide, rather than sticking to the inverted fullbacks. This makes their build-up less riskier, especially against teams who maintain passive high press. Fullbacks are tasked to launch aerial balls whenever they are free and have a target man up front. When Poro has the ball, Tottenham have a 1 vs 3 situation, but as soon as ball is released, it's a 2 vs 1 overload against the centre back as Maddison makes a blindside run. If you look at their shape, two centre midfielders pinch the opposition midfield line, while the winger can make the backline stretch to create a favourable situation for Poro to assist Maddison for a beautiful goal. So one of the attacking intentions is to launch diagonal aerial balls from the half space regions. The diagonal nature of the balls makes it difficult to defend, and Spurs look to exploit those situations with diagonal inside runs from wingers or instant runs from attacking midfielder. Apart from diagonal ones, vertical long balls are also used to target isolated centre back using Solanke's physicality. Fullbacks could also be targeted with runs from the attacking midfielder or the winger. Spurs disrupt the opposition backline with certain attacking patterns. One idea is to stretch the backline with wide progression. The half-space midfielder will pin one of the centre backs, isolating his partner against the striker. Now it's basically 3-1 vs 1 situations in the backline, and Spurs exploit it with diagonal run from the striker. As Solanke makes the run, the centre back is dragged out of position and backline is totally out of shape. When the ball is played back, striker is out wide and right back replaces him to exploit the disorganized defense. Here we have same run from Solanke to drag the centre back out of position, and they exploit it by playing back to the centre. The other idea is to exploit the space between the centre back and the wide full back with half space runs from the midfielders. In both sequences, they attracted the defense towards the flank with wide overloads, and Kulusevski made almost same runs to enter the penalty area. We have the exact same situation here, and Bergwall made the same run. The intention is to attack the half space with different runs as per the situation. To vacate the half space, firstly the attack will be directed on one side to drag defense towards the ball. Then the ball can be switched, and as opposition takes time to shift, half space won't be defended, and Spurs exploit this with quick passes. Here 5 players are dragged to the left and they attack the right using Maddison in half space. This diagonal balls from full back to half space midfielder is a constant theme in their attack. Apart from direct passes to the half spaces, Spurs also create triangular passing groups near the half spaces to penetrate the opposition. When it comes to wide regions, Spurs drop their midfielder wide to create that 2 vs 1 overload, freeing the fullback on the flanks. Now they have double width with Poro and Johnson, and final third entry is possible. At times, the attacking midfielder may drop along the line to bypass the press. Sometimes the progression is as simple as playing it low along the line for the runners behind the backline, and this avoids all those risks associated with complex passing patterns. If opposition opts to sit back, Spurs again aims to attract the press. In the sequence, by having 4 players in the ball near zone, they are trying to disorganize the defensive block with passes and positional rotations. And if penetration is not possible, then the easy alternative is to immediately switch sides to attack the underloaded far side. The switch off play disrupts opposition, and they exploit this with playing it back to the center technicians who could use their technical ability to penetrate the block. We have yet another similar sequence where Bergwall, Johnson and Poro make a triangle to attract pressure, and then the ball is switched. As opposition takes time to reorganize, those vulnerable gaps are attacked with runs from midfield. This pattern of dragging press to one side using wide progression and then the quick switch using the half space to attack the far side is a typical pattern they execute in almost every game. And this simplification of tactics reduced the usual unnecessary mistakes done by Spurs, and thus it have made their journey in Europa League's knockout rounds easier. If they can stick on to similar ideas, they might regain their top 6 position in next domestic season.